Born to Break Limits, written and published by Naqib Larry. Introduction. There's a light inside every human being, a quiet force that refuses to settle for an average life, a voice that whispers, "You are more than what you think you are." But over time, life happens. Circumstances, failures, and opinions try to silence that voice. And slowly, we begin to believe the biggest lie, that we are only capable of what the world has told us. Born to Break Limits is more than just a title. It's a declaration. It's a reminder that you were never meant to live small, confined, or quiet. This book is for those who are ready to rise, for the ones who've been broken, but not destroyed, who've stumbled, but haven't stopped, who still carry the fire to keep going no matter how dark it gets. This book will remind you where your real power lies. It will hold up the mirror you've been avoiding, the one that reflects your true self, fearless, focused, and fiercely alive. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were born to break limits. And this book is here to awaken the warrior within you. Chapter 1. You were not born average. You were not born average. From the very first breath you took, you carried a spark within you, a light that separated you from the rest. Life may have tried to dim it along the way. People may have told you that you're not enough, that your dreams are too big, or that success is only for the lucky. But here's the truth they don't want you to realize. You were born for greatness. You were born to break limits. Every person walking on this planet has untapped potential, but most never reach it. Not because they don't have the ability, but because they stop believing in themselves. Society teaches us to stay in line, to follow the rules, to dream within the limits. But limits were made to be tested, and you were made to break them. Think about it. No baby is born with fear. No child comes into this world believing they're not good enough. Those beliefs are learned. They are taught. They are passed down from people who never dared to go beyond their own limitations. But just because they settled doesn't mean you have to. Inside you is a voice that's been whispering all your life. You're meant for more. Maybe you've ignored it. Maybe you've doubted it. Maybe life has beaten you down so much that you've stopped listening. But that voice hasn't died. It's still there, waiting for you to rise, to remember, to act. You don't need permission to rise above the ordinary. You don't need the approval of others to start your journey. The fire within you is stronger than the obstacles in front of you. All it takes is a decision to stop living life on autopilot and start living it with purpose. There will be pain. There will be struggle. There will be days when you question everything: your worth, your path, your dreams. But those are the very moments that shape champions. Diamonds aren't formed in comfort. They are made under pressure. So embrace the pressure. Welcome the challenges. Because every setback you face is preparing you for a comeback that's greater than anything you've imagined. Average is easy. Anyone can be average. But that's not your destiny. You were not designed to blend in. You were made to stand out. The world needs your story, your voice, your strength. Somewhere out there, someone is waiting for you to rise so they can believe they can too. This is your moment. This is your chapter. The past may have tried to break you, but it also built you. You've come this far not by accident, but by design. And now, you get to choose. Stay stuck in the cycle of average, or step into the identity of a limit breaker. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be brave enough to begin. Brave enough to keep going when it gets hard. Brave enough to believe in something bigger than your fears. You were not born average, and deep down, you know it. It's time the world sees what you've known all along. You were born to break limits. Now go prove it. Chapter 2. The limits they gave you are not yours. From the moment you entered this world, others started assigning you limits. They told you what you could and couldn't do, what was possible and what wasn't. You were handed boundaries disguised as advice. Don't dream too big. Stay realistic. People like us don't live that kind of life. But none of those limits were born inside you. They were given to you by people who stopped believing in their own dreams, by those who were too afraid to try or too broken to rise. And yet, we often carry their words as if they are the final truth. We live inside prisons we didn't build, obeying rules we never wrote. But here's the truth. The limits they gave you are not yours to keep. You were not born with self-doubt. You were not born afraid to fail. You were not born believing that greatness is only for a few. Those ideas were planted into you by people living in fear, by a system built to keep you small, by experiences that tried to break your spirit. But what was planted can be uprooted. You don't have to inherit their fears. You don't have to carry their pain. Your life is not a continuation of someone else's struggle. It's an entirely new story, and you are the author. Most people project their fears onto others. If they were rejected, they tell you not to risk. If they failed, they tell you not to try. If they never dared to dream, they'll make your dreams sound foolish. But you were not created to live by their fears. You were made to rise above them. The truth is, your dreams don't need their validation. Your path doesn't need their approval. You have the power to decide who you become, regardless of what they told you. Some limits were given out of love. Your parents, your teachers, your friends, they may have tried to protect you from disappointment. But safety does not lead to greatness. Playing small might feel comfortable, but it will never feel fulfilling. Deep down, there's a fire in you, a calling to do more, be more, create more. And that calling will never be satisfied as long as you live under someone else's version of who you should be. You are not lazy, unworthy, or incapable. You are not too much or not enough. You are exactly who you're meant to be, with the strength to grow, the courage to change, and the power to rise. Every time you choose to believe in yourself instead of their doubts, you take back your life. Every time you chase what sets your soul on fire, you break a chain they tried to put on you. There comes a moment when you have to choose: stay in the story they gave you, or write your own. That moment is now. Let go of the voices that told you to shrink. Release the need to prove anything to anyone. You don't owe anyone your silence, your limits, or your surrender. What you owe yourself is freedom. The freedom to explore your potential, to live on your terms, to become all that you were born to be. You were never meant to fit in a box. You were never meant to settle for average. The limits they gave you are not yours. They never were. And now, it's time to rise beyond them. Not just for yourself, but for everyone who's watching, waiting, and hoping to see what breaking limits really looks like. Chapter 3. Your pain is your power. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers. It doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to reveal you. The moments that broke you, the nights you cried in silence, the times you felt alone, misunderstood, or forgotten, they weren't the end of your story. They were the fire that was shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for everything that was waiting on the other side of survival. Pain introduces you to a version of yourself that comfort never could. While ease may build habits, pain builds warriors. Most people try to run from their pain. They numb it, hide it, deny it, or pretend it doesn't exist. But avoiding pain never heals it. In truth, the very thing you're trying to escape is the thing that holds the keys to your power. Your pain carries wisdom. It carries experience, resilience, and a deep understanding that cannot be taught in books or schools. It comes only from walking through fire and refusing to be consumed by it. That's what gives you your edge. That's what sets you apart. You may look back on your life and see scars, from betrayal, failure, rejection, loss. And yes, those wounds hurt. But scars aren't signs of weakness. They're proof you survived. They're medals of honor for battles you didn't think you'd make it through. While others gave up, you kept going. While others broke, you bent but didn't shatter. That is strength. That is power. There is a beauty in brokenness when you choose to rise from it. Pain doesn't have to leave you bitter. It can make you better. It can make you more compassionate, more focused, more determined. It gives you a story. And that story, when owned with courage, becomes someone else's survival guide. Never underestimate how your wounds, once healed, can become a source of hope for others who are still bleeding. The truth is, you don't become powerful in spite of your pain. You become powerful because of it. Every trial, every heartbreak, every fall shaped a part of who you are today. And if you're still here, still breathing, still standing, then you've already proven how strong you really are. Now it's time to own that power. Stop asking why it happened to you and start asking what it's building inside you. What if that setback wasn't punishment but preparation? What if that failure wasn't the end but the redirection? What if the pain was the very thing pushing you toward your purpose? Life never wastes a wound. Everything you've gone through has the potential to elevate you if you're willing to learn from it, grow through it, and use it as fuel. You are not broken. You are breaking through. And every emotion you've felt, grief, fear, frustration, hopelessness, has shaped you into someone deeper, wiser, more real. That's your advantage. That's your authenticity. In a world of filters and fake smiles, your scars tell the truth. And that truth carries weight. So don't hide your pain. Don't run from it. Use it. Let it remind you of your strength. Let it drive you to rise higher. Let it become the reason you succeed, not the excuse to quit. Because once you understand that your pain was never meant to define you, only to refine you, you'll stop shrinking from it and start standing on it. Your pain is not your weakness. It is your weapon. It is your power. Use it well. Chapter 4. Turn fear into fuel. Fear is not your enemy. It's a signal. It shows up when you're about to do something meaningful, something outside your comfort zone, something that could change everything. The presence of fear doesn't mean stop. It means you're standing on the edge of growth. It means you're alive. The key is not to eliminate fear. The key is to transform it. Everyone feels fear. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise is simple. One lets fear control them. The other uses it as fuel. When fear whispers, "What if you fail?" champions respond, "What if I fly?" Fear will always give you reasons to hold back. What if it goes wrong? What will people think? What if you're not good enough? But behind every fear is a deeper truth. You are afraid not because you are weak, but because something powerful is waking up inside you. That's not something to run from. That's something to chase. Fear, when left unmanaged, paralyzes. It convinces you to play small, stay safe, settle. It will disguise itself as logic, as responsibility, even as love. But in reality, it's just a cage. And that cage is built from your own imagination. But here's what most people never realize. The same imagination that builds fear can also build faith. You can use that energy to picture success instead of failure. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act anyway. Think about the strongest people you admire. Do you believe they never felt fear? They felt it and moved anyway. They took the shot. They gave the speech. They started the business. They chased the dream. Not because they had no fear, but because their purpose was bigger than their fear. And now it's your turn. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be brave for one more second than your fear. Start seeing fear as a teacher. What is it trying to show you? Often your fear points directly to where your greatest potential lies. Are you afraid to speak in public? Maybe you're meant to lead? Are you scared to start something new? Maybe that's where your breakthrough is waiting. The very thing you fear may be the path to the future you desire. Don't run from it. Lean in. Let fear guide you toward the fire, and then walk through it like it was built for your arrival. Fuel is made of energy, and fear holds a powerful charge. Redirect it. Instead of letting it freeze you, let it fire you up. Let it sharpen your focus, heighten your awareness, and drive your hunger. Every time fear shows up, it means you've stepped into something important. Let that excite you. Let it remind you that you're growing, expanding, becoming more. You were not made to live behind locked doors. You were not born to obey the voice of fear. That voice may speak, but you don't have to listen. Your courage is louder. Your vision is clearer. Your mission is stronger. The next level of your life is on the other side of the fear you've been avoiding, and the only way out is through. You don't need to kill fear. You need to convert it. Use it as a signal. Use it as a motivator. Use it as fuel. And remember, you are not your fear. You are the force that walks through it. So the next time fear rises, don't shrink. Rise higher. Don't retreat. Charge forward. Fear doesn't get to decide your future. You do. Chapter 5. Discipline. The weapon of limit breakers. Talent may open the first door, but only discipline keeps you inside the room. Motivation is powerful, but it comes and goes like the weather. Discipline, on the other hand, is the fire that keeps burning long after the excitement fades. If you want to break limits, truly shatter the boundaries that have held you back, you must master discipline. It is not just a habit. It is a mindset, a commitment, a weapon. Discipline means doing what must be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early when your body wants to sleep. It's showing up when no one is watching. It's saying no to distractions so you can say yes to greatness. The world is full of people with dreams, but only a few have the discipline to chase those dreams with relentless consistency. Dreams without discipline are just fantasies. Every great achiever you admire, athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, leaders, they all share one trait: ruthless discipline. They trained when it hurt. They worked when it was boring. They pushed through when others quit. Not because they were superhuman, but because they had a clear why, and the discipline to follow through. They understood something most people ignore. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. You don't need to be the most talented. You just need to be the most committed. Discipline gives you the edge when motivation runs dry. It keeps you steady in chaos. It helps you win the war within, the part of you that wants comfort, ease, and instant gratification. Discipline chooses growth over comfort. It builds character, mental strength, and unshakable self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you get stronger. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, you become more unstoppable. The truth is, discipline doesn't restrict your freedom. It creates it. When you discipline your time, you gain control of your life. When you discipline your mind, you take command of your emotions. When you discipline your habits, you unlock your potential. Without discipline, you become a slave to moods, impulses, and outside noise. But with it, you become the master of your fate. Start small, but stay consistent. Build rituals that align with the future you want. Wake up with purpose. Plan your day. Protect your focus. Eat clean. Train hard. Read daily. Show up again and again and again. Because greatness doesn't come from what you do occasionally. It comes from what you do consistently. Will it be hard? Yes. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. Every drop of sweat, every early morning, every hard choice, they're all deposits into your future success. Discipline may not be glamorous, but it builds empires. It's not loud, but it leaves powerful results. And the best part? It's something anyone can build, starting today. You were not born to drift. You were born to dominate your day, to command your energy, to shape your destiny. And discipline is the tool that makes it possible. If you want to break limits, you must become a person who does what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. So the next time you're tempted to quit, to procrastinate, to give in to comfort, remind yourself who you are. You are a limit breaker, and discipline is your weapon. Use it. Chapter 6. Break the mental chains. The greatest prison is not made of walls, bars, or locked doors. It's built in the mind. The strongest chains that hold people back are invisible. They are beliefs, fears, doubts, and stories we tell ourselves. If you want to break limits, you must first break the chains in your thinking. Because until you free your mind, you will never fully free your life. Many of the limits people live with aren't physical. They're mental. I'm not smart enough. I'm too late. I'll never be good at this. People like me don't succeed. These are not facts. They are mental cages formed by past failures, childhood programming, and a lifetime of listening to the wrong voices. But just because you've thought something for years doesn't make it true. You have the power to rewrite the script. Your mind is a battlefield. Every day, thoughts are pulling you in different directions, some empowering, some limiting. If you do not take control of your mind, it will control you. You must learn to recognize the lies and challenge them. Replace "I can't" with "How can I?" Replace "This is too hard" with "This is my opportunity to grow." Train your thoughts like a warrior trains for battle, with focus, intensity, and purpose. The truth is, your mind can either be your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. That choice belongs to you. But you must be willing to confront the mental stories that no longer serve you. Some of these stories were handed to you by family, society, or culture. Others were built through pain, rejection, and past mistakes. But now you're not a child anymore. You have the power to choose which thoughts stay and which ones must go. Breaking mental chains starts with awareness. Catch yourself when you speak negatively about your life, your abilities, or your worth. Start listening to the language you use. Words matter. Thoughts matter. Everything you allow to live in your mind shapes your future. You don't rise by accident. You rise by intention. And that intention must start in your thinking. Don't let comfort become your master. Growth requires discomfort, not because you're broken, but because you're evolving. The mind always seeks the path of least resistance, but success lives in resistance. It lives in stretching, failing, learning, and rising again. Mental strength is not built by avoiding challenge. It's built by walking into it and refusing to back down. Start building a new belief system, one rooted in possibility, in strength, in courage. Tell yourself every day, I am not my past. I am not my failures. I am not my fears. I am powerful. I am capable. I am becoming everything I was created to be. Repeat it until your mind believes it. Feed your mind with books, voices, environments, and people that speak life into you. Protect your mental space like your future depends on it. Because it does. Some people stay stuck for years, not because they're not capable, but because they never challenged the chains in their mind. Don't let that be your story. Don't let inherited limits become your legacy. You were born with a limitless spirit. Now it's time to free your mind so your actions can follow. Break the mental chains. Break the cycle. Break through. Because once your mind is free, nothing can stop you. Chapter 7. Embrace the struggle. Struggle is not your enemy. It is your training ground. It is the forge where strength is built, where courage is tested, and where greatness is born. Too often, we see struggle as a sign that something is going wrong. But what if it's the very thing that's making you stronger? What if the pressure you're under right now is preparing you for everything you've been praying for? Nobody rises without resistance. The mountain climber doesn't reach the peak without climbing steep cliffs. The athlete doesn't win without pain and training. The entrepreneur doesn't succeed without sleepless nights and failed attempts. Struggle is not a detour. It's the path. It refines you. It teaches you. It introduces you to a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. When you embrace the struggle, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And you start asking, "What is this building in me?" Every setback becomes a setup. Every delay becomes a lesson. Every hardship becomes a tool in your hands, shaping you into someone who doesn't just dream about success, but earns it. You don't grow when life is easy. You grow when it's hard, and you keep going anyway. Struggle reveals who is committed and who is just curious. It separates the talkers from the doers. Many people love the idea of success, but few are willing to wrestle with the reality of what it takes. They quit at the first sign of difficulty. But not you. You're different. You've already come too far to turn back now. Every time you've struggled and didn't quit, you grew. Every time you were knocked down and got up, you built muscle, not just physical, but emotional, mental, and spiritual. That's why your struggle is sacred. It's proof that you're in the fight, and the fight is where your power is activated. Struggle also humbles you. It reminds you that you're not entitled to anything, but that you can earn everything. It teaches you to be grateful for every inch of progress. It teaches you patience, grit, and grace. Most importantly, it makes the victory mean something. Anyone can celebrate success, but only those who've suffered for it truly understand its value. So don't curse your struggle. Don't hide from it. Step into it with the heart of a warrior. Let it sharpen your focus and fuel your fire. Let it build the discipline you need to go further than you ever thought possible. Every difficult moment is preparing you for a chapter of your life you haven't read yet. But when it arrives, you'll be ready. The strongest people you know didn't avoid struggle. They embraced it. They didn't wait for life to be easy. They chose to be stronger. They didn't wait for the pain to stop. They learned to walk with it. And eventually, they turned that pain into power and that struggle into success. You are not defined by what you go through. You are defined by how you rise through it. The struggle isn't a punishment. It's a process. And you are not just surviving it. You're being shaped by it. The day you learn to embrace the struggle is the day you take control of your story. So lift your head, tighten your grip, and keep walking. The pressure you're under is not breaking you. It's building you. You are being forged in fire. And fire doesn't destroy steel. It strengthens it. Chapter 8. You versus you. The real battle. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world. It's against yourself. Not the version of you that smiles in front of others, but the version of you that only you know. The one that whispers doubts when no one's watching. The one that tells you to give up when things get hard. The one that's addicted to comfort, afraid of failure, and terrified of what happens if you actually succeed. That's your real opponent. And the day you choose to face that version of yourself is the day everything begins to change. People often think success is about beating the competition, proving others wrong, or rising above external circumstances. But the truth is, it's not about them. It's about you. It's about whether you're willing to show up on the days when no one claps for you. Whether you can silence the noise in your head long enough to take one more step forward. Whether you can hold the line when everything inside you screams to quit. You are both your best friend and your worst enemy. You are the one who dreams big and the one who doubts. You are the one who plans and the one who procrastinates. You are the one who speaks of greatness and the one who makes excuses when it's time to act. This is not about shame. It's about awareness. Because when you see clearly who's really standing in your way, you can finally take back your power. The world outside you is chaotic, unpredictable, and full of challenges. But the world inside you, your thoughts, your focus, your discipline, that's where your future is built. If you don't win the war within, you'll never fully win anything outside. Self-mastery is the highest form of success. When you learn to lead yourself, you become unstoppable. This journey requires radical honesty. You have to confront your patterns, the ones that keep you stuck, the habits that hold you back, the stories you tell yourself to justify why you're not where you want to be. You have to stop blaming others. Stop pointing fingers. Stop waiting for someone to save you. No one is coming. And that's a good thing. Because you don't need a savior. You need a decision. A decision to rise, to fight, and to become the person your future needs you to be. Growth hurts because you're shedding layers of the old you. The lazy you, the fearful you, the insecure you. That's why most people never evolve. It's painful to let go of who you used to be. But you cannot carry that version of yourself into the life you say you want. One of you has to die. Your dreams or your excuses. Your old self or your future self. The choice is yours. You won't win every day. Some days you'll slip. Some days your fears will feel louder than your strength. But even on those days, you can still fight. You can still choose to get back up. You can still silence the voice of doubt with one bold action. You can still take control of your story, one moment, one choice, one decision at a time. This battle is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about having the courage to keep showing up, even when your mind tells you to quit. Because once you learn to conquer yourself, no outside force can ever truly stop you. You are the gatekeeper of your destiny. The enemy is not out there. It's in here, in your habits, in your mindset, in your belief system. But here's the good news. If it's you versus you, then you already have everything you need to win. Chapter 9. Dream bigger, work harder. Your dream is your responsibility. No one else will fight for it the way you must. No one else will wake up with the fire in their chest for what only you were called to do. So don't shrink your vision to fit into the world's comfort zones. Expand your effort to match the size of your dreams. You were not born to dream small. You were not born to chase average goals. You were born to push boundaries, to rise above doubt, and to create something extraordinary with your life. But dreaming big alone is not enough. A dream without work is just a fantasy. Too many people talk about what they want, but never build the discipline to pursue it. They wait for perfect timing, perfect motivation, or someone to hand them an opportunity. But the ones who win, the ones who rise, are those who put their heads down and work, day after day, failure after failure, without applause, without shortcuts, without quitting. Big dreams require big work. You have to show up when you're tired. You have to study while others sleep. You have to invest in yourself when no one is watching. You have to take action even when fear screams in your ears. There is no secret formula. There is only effort, consistency, and an unshakable belief that what you're building is worth it. You cannot wish your way to greatness. You have to work your way there. Most people want the reward, but avoid the responsibility. They want the lifestyle, but not the grind. They admire the results, but ignore the process. But if your dream is real, truly real, you'll do whatever it takes. You'll wake up early. You'll sacrifice distractions. You'll endure the boredom, the pain, and the setbacks because you know success isn't for the lucky, it's for the relentless. And yes, your dream should scare you. It should stretch you. It should feel impossible sometimes. Because if your dream doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. The purpose of a big dream isn't just to achieve it. It's to grow into the person who can. Every obstacle you face is shaping you into that person. Every long day and hard night is building your strength, your discipline, your focus. That's the real reward, who you become in the process. So dream bigger, not because it's trendy, but because you are capable of more than the world ever told you. And then work harder, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that your life is in your hands. Show up with passion. Show up with intensity. Show up with fire in your soul and a plan in your hand. Be willing to do what others won't, so you can live how others can't. When people say you're unrealistic, smile and keep building. When they doubt you, let it drive you. When it gets hard, and it will, remind yourself why you started. Remind yourself of the vision that keeps you awake at night. That vision is yours for a reason. Don't bury it. Don't hide it. And above all, Don't give up on it. You were not meant to play small. You were born to rise, to build, to break limits. So dare to dream bigger than your fears. Work harder than your excuses. And remember, in the end, success doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most committed. Chapter 10. Born to inspire others. You may not realize it yet, but someone out there is watching you. Watching how you fight through your battles. Watching how you rise after every fall. Watching how you keep showing up even when it hurts. Your story, your struggle, your persistence, they are lighting the way for someone else. You were not just born to survive. You were born to inspire. In a world filled with noise, doubt, and fear, being someone who keeps going, someone who refuses to quit, is a powerful statement. You don't have to be famous to make a difference. You don't need millions of followers to change lives. Sometimes all it takes is one moment of courage, one act of kindness, one brave step forward, and someone else's world shifts because of it. We often underestimate the power of our presence. We think we need to have it all figured out before we can help others. But the truth is, your journey as it is, raw, imperfect, in progress, is exactly what someone else needs to see. Not your perfection, but your perseverance. Not your trophies, but your trials. Because it shows them what's possible. It gives them permission to believe in themselves. You inspire by being real, by being honest about your failures, by owning your scars and still walking forward. You inspire by standing tall when you could have stayed down, by speaking hope into the lives of others even when you're still healing yourself. You may never know the full impact you've had, but that doesn't mean your impact isn't real. And here's something even more powerful. The more you live with purpose, the more people you lift with you. Your courage gives them strength. Your progress gives them permission. Your light breaks through their darkness. That's why your growth is not selfish. It's necessary. The more you rise, the more you remind others that they can too. You were born to break your own limits. Yes. But you were also born to help others break theirs. You are a bridge between what is and what could be. You are a spark in someone else's fire. And every time you step forward in faith, in discipline, in boldness, you are inspiring others to believe in something bigger than their pain. So don't hide your story. Don't dim your light. Don't underestimate the power of simply showing up. Whether it's one person or 1 million, someone needs what you have. Someone needs your words, your energy, your example. Not when you're perfect, but right now, as you are, in motion, in growth, in truth. Let your life speak louder than your excuses. Let your actions echo far beyond your voice. Let your fight, your grit, your refusal to settle, become a symbol of hope for those who feel stuck. When you keep going, you're not just fighting for yourself, you're showing others what's possible for them too. Inspiring others isn't a role you have to audition for. It's already inside you. It's in the way you love. It's in the way you rise. It's in the way you refuse to let life break you. You were born for this. You were born to rise. Not alone, but to bring others with you. And as you walk this path, remember, the strongest message you'll ever send is not through your words, but through your life. Live in such a way that your journey becomes someone else's turning point. Conclusion: you've made it to the final page, but this isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new mindset, a new path, a new you. If there's one truth that echoes through every chapter of this book, it's this: you were never meant to live confined, small, or silent. You were born with power. You were born with purpose. You were born to break limits. The world may try to place labels on you. Your past may whisper doubt. But now you know better. You have learned to see pain as power, fear as fuel, and struggle as your training ground. You've faced the real enemy, the voice inside, and you've taken back control. From this moment forward, you don't just chase greatness, you become it. Not by waiting, not by wishing, but by showing up with discipline, with fire, with purpose, every single day. So rise, stand tall, walk boldly into your next chapter, because the limit breaker you were born to be is already awake.